on page 99. And for those of you following along at home, we're in Sidur Shel Zahav. How good it is for brothers and sisters to sit together in harmony. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Well, it's wonderful to be here with all of you, and I'm just going to do a quick eyeball around the room. Let's see, 2, 4, 8. Okay, so we're still waiting on a couple people, namely the rabbi. We're not waiting on him to start, but you know, he's as you may have heard, he's stuck in a little traffic, and so we're going to extend our Kabbalat Shabbat experience a little bit while we wait for him and a couple other people so we can make minyan. Let's welcome the better angels in our midst. On page 106, with the words of Shalom Aleichem. But first, let's turn to the angels in our midst and welcome one another. Turn to someone you don't know and introduce yourself. And it's a small group, so find someone that you've never met before. And I'm Cantor Adam Davis. We could continue that all night, right? So let's welcome the Shabbat angels on page 106 with the words of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitechem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei herion. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Let's continue with the words of another psalm. Actually, a poem, a piyut, on page 110. Yedid nefesh, beloved of my soul, draw your servant into your arms. I leaped like a gazelle to stand in awe before you. Your love is sweeter to me than the taste of honey. Page 110. Yedid nefesh, av harachaman, meshoch avdach el retzonach, yarutz avdach kemo ayan, yishtachaveh el mul hadarach, yerav lo yedidotach, minof etzof vechol taham, ador na'eh ziv ha'olam, nafshi cholat ahavatach, ana elna refana la, beharol lach noam zivach, as titchazek v'titrapeh, v'hayta lach shivchat olam. Here comes the easy part. Ya la lai lai la lai, la la lai lai la lai, la la lai 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 lai, la la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, la la lai lai la la lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai. Continuing with the words of Psalms, we'll turn to page 114, Psalm 95. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai, lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai. Nariya, nariya letzor yishenu, nekad mafana betoda. Nariya, nariya letzor yishenu, vismiro nariya lo. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai. Continuing on to Psalm 96 on page 116. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, sing unto the Eternal a new song. But this one's not so new. Well, relatively new. It's like maybe 50 years old, but that's new in Jewish terms. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומחולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, אלי כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה הוד והדר לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד בעוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, לילה ישתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו הגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בל תימות, ידין עמים במישרים, ילי לה 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 ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. יעלוס עלי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק, בימים באמונתו. Let's continue with the words of Psalm 98 on page 120. And we're going to do just one little snippet of it in the third paragraph. Sing praises to Adonai with the lute and with strings, with voice and with melody, with trumpets and with the blast of shofar. Raise fanfare to the Eternal, and I appreciate your raising your voices and singing with me. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino v'kol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino v'kol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino v'kol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai Bechinor, Bechinor V'kol Zimra.
Hello.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm here.
Welcome back.
I don't know if y'all heard where I was. It's kind of an interesting evening. I just got the pleasure of being at a private home for a thing that Vice President Harris was speaking at, but the reason I was invited is the second gentleman of our country, Doug Emhoff. He's Jewish, and he wanted to have a private meeting with Jewish leaders and to talk about anti-Semitism and how it's affecting us and our communities. And so that was very interesting. But it was up in Park City on top of a mountain, and there were probably a couple hundred people there. And the rule is you're not allowed to leave until after the vice president leaves because Secret Service. And but what was so nice is the hosts, who are Jewish themselves, as soon as vice president left, they said, "Everyone out of the way, the rabbi leaves first." And so booked it down the mountain. And thank you, Kendra Davis, for starting us off. Wonderful to have you here as well.
Great to be
Where are we at right now? It looks like we're on page 128 for Lecha Dodi. So thank you for hopefully accepting my apologies for tardiness. But it's a privilege. Back in 2020, I got to meet with then President Trump's team, and to meet with the Vice President Harris's team this time was a real honor. So we are on page 128. As we sing Lecha Dodi, we'll do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
What's our favorite melody for Lecha Dodi?
What's your favorite melody for Lecha Dodi?
Oh, how can I pick amongst my children?
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of...
So
I can pick amongst my children. Just depends on the day which kid. That whole thing of like, oh, you love your kids equally. I do not love my kids equally. I love them more, but on different days. Like, depends. Some days I'm all Miriam. Today's Esty.
Okay, let's do this one. La 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 Lecha Dodi. La 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 Likra Kala. La 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, Me'dibor echad, Hishemianu El Hamyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shemu tiferet v'litilah. Yalalai, yalalai Lecha Dodi, yalalai Likra Kala, yalalai B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'necha, Ki mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tefila. Yalalai, yalalai Lecha Dodi, la 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 Likra Kala, la 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 B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori, 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 shir Daberi Kevod Adonai Alayich Nila Yalalai Yalalai Lecha Dodi Yalalai Likrat Kala Yalalai B'nei Shabbat B'nei Shabbat Nekabela.
We're going to rise and face the entrance to greet Shabbat.
Verse 9. Boi v'shalom Ateret v'ala Gam v'simcha Uv'zola Toch emunei Am segula Boi chala Boi chala Yai lai lai Ala la 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 lecha dodi Ala la 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 likrat kala Ala la 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 b'nei Shabbat B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. This time we're going to turn to our candle lighting and bring in some light for Shabbat. I always like to pick different people to light our candles. Jared, can I pick on you? Would you light our candles? I don't know if y'all have met Jared. He is a brand new member of Cole and Me. And so you and your husband Brady, correct? Yep. Brady are brand new members to Cole and Me. We're thrilled to have you here. And so I'd love to just thank you for bringing more light into our community by becoming a part of it. I have to go over that one more time.
What'll give out first?
Yeah, they're trick Shabbat candles. There you go. Let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thanks, Jared. We're going to turn now to page 139 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon U'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'gala U'vizman kariv V'yimeru
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam u'lom me'olmaya
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha
Brihu.
Brichu leila Min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'yimeru.
Amen. We are going to turn to page 144 and rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Lai 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 lai. I almost brought a lot more light into the.
I did.
Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 la 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 la. ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach
Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. Page 149 at the bottom. Alone, I marvel at the evening sky, gold caressing blue, blue caressing dark. Here in prayer, I need to see your hand behind the sky, your creative words once more forming light and darkness. I need to see the care with which you carved the moon, the stars with which you make fearful darkness nurturing night, the mixture that brings evening forth from day, morning from night, has been shaped like Adam from the earth by you. You who mixes in the evening, you are praised.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Page 151.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. הקן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו, ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיה, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ועבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. 156. שמע ישראל Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchut Le'olam Va'ed. We continue in the middle of page 156.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם,
Ani Adonai Elohim,
Asher hotzeiti etchem meretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim.
Ani Adonai Elohim, Adonai Elohim.
Amen. I often talk about how the Israelites, when they were leaving Egypt, were terrified. They were scared, and they said maybe we shouldn't leave Egypt. And why would they say that? But we have to remember too that what led them to that decision or that thought of we shouldn't leave Egypt was a concern and a thought for what is best for our people. And maybe if we cross over this water, it won't be what's best for us. Maybe things will be worse. And so maybe for self-preservation, we should stay here. But fortunately, others said, no, we have to go forward. And it wasn't because they wanted something bad to happen. Of course not. It was because they wanted something good to happen for our people. And so we have to look at that and see that both of those feelings, the feeling of hope and optimism that led us over the water and between the split sea into freedom, but also those feelings of fear, of worry, of concern, were all motivated from the same thing, which was love. Let's sing together the song of our freedom and redemption and hope that one day everybody can overcome their fear to achieve their freedom. The Mi Chamocha is on 162 in the blue letters.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים זה אלי אנו ואמרו זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
שמו
גאל ישראל
168. Turn to the Hashki Venu, our prayer asking God to watch over all of us as we go to bed at night. And 6 months ago here in Utah, even less than that, I was saying this prayer is so important right now because there's snow falling outside. It's cold. People are vulnerable. And this past week we've had a lot of heat. And I've thought of those same people who experienced the cold of the vulnerability from the cold are now experiencing the same vulnerability but from the heat. And we ask God to watch over all of them and over all of us so that we may lie down in peace and wake up tomorrow in peace as well.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, ויעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. פרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני.
Bershemo.
הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Vishamru is on page 171.
Let's do it up a little bit.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Beini uven b'nei Yisrael
Oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Ki
Sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Uvayom ha'shevi'i
Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. We're going to turn to the Amidah on page 235. I'll invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai
Sevataitivta uviyagit tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu
Ve'Elohei
Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El Hagadol Hagibor Yanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Hasdei Avot V'Imaot Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Ve'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Elam Adonai Mechayem Etim Atarav Le'Oshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Hayim Besed Mechayeh Hagom Verachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidom Elam Melech Meimit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ונתת להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך. סלח. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We are going to continue silently, page 242 through page 267. Well, really through page 252, but there's some readings after that if that might inspire you if you prefer to read English readings. So if you prefer English readings, you can do 253 to 267. If you prefer the Hebrew, you can do 242 to 252. And when you're finished, you may be seated.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Page 252. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri,
Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך.
At this time, we are going to turn our thoughts to those in our community and their loved ones who could use a prayer for healing of the mind, body, and spirit. Our prayer for healing the Mishberach can be found on page 468.
A lot of page jumping in this book.
I know, right?
It's 68. There we go.
You got it. It's at the bottom of the page. Yeah, I get tripped up with that too.
Mishevera avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
This week we think of these members of our community and their loved ones. Gitalea bat Mashachana Harav Yehuda Leib ben Dina, Myron Yisrael ben Rachel, Daniel Mayer ben Chaya Etya, Baruch ben Sarah, Itka Fega bat Gittel, Gila Haya bat Mordechai Leib v'Gila Leah, Tova Chava bat Chaya Rochel, Leora bat Oded v'Rachel, Yifat Chayut bat Tova, Rivka bat Fladel uBaruch, Sarah Bell, David Dowsett, Angela Eno, Fran Lappin, Tanner Light, Megan Magleby, Simon Jimenez Mendoza, Paul Sherrill, Penny Spector, Adina Stern, Sam Winkler, Michael Winston, and Judy Wolf. And if you have a name to share, when I look in your direction, you can share with our community. And if you are watching our live stream, you can share a name as well.
Yisheverach imotenu mekor navracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing
with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So, as I mentioned when I walked in late, back in 2020, I had the opportunity to, a few weeks before the election, meet with some people from President Trump's team to talk with them about issues facing our community. And what was interesting, one of the things maybe not so surprising or interesting, was in that meeting, I heard them talk a lot about how Donald Trump was wonderful and great and how Joe Biden was a liar and terrible and how we shouldn't vote for him. Fast forward 4 years to today. I just, like I said, had the opportunity to meet with the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, and I didn't get to meet Vice President Harris, but I got to listen to her. And lo and behold, a lot of what they talked about was how Donald Trump is a liar and terrible, but Joe Biden is great. Vote for him. And so you hear these kind of same messages from both folks, and not particularly flattering depictions of the other candidate. And before I moved to Utah, everywhere I had lived was a very liberal place. And I was often seen as one of the more conservative politically people in those areas. And now living in Utah, much more conservative place, some folks see me as a bit more liberal than the majority of Utahns. And I've asked questions to folks about who they vote for and why. And it's interesting. When people have told me, oh, I'm voting for President Biden. Okay, tell me why you are voting for President Biden. Well, because as a Jew, I need to vote for President Biden. Here are all the things that President Biden does, his views on reproductive rights, on health care for everybody, on his tax plan, and why that is in line with our Jewish values. And after October 7th, President Biden flew into Israel during a war. Like what? No other president's done that. As a Jew, you have to vote for President Biden. And then I've asked folks who are voting for Donald Trump, well, why are you voting for Donald Trump? And they say, well, under President Trump, we had the Abraham Accords signed. This was the greatest foreign policy thing to ever happen for the state of Israel. And President Trump was so vocally supportive of Israel, moved the embassy to Jerusalem, which so many other presidents had said they would do, but they never followed through on. And as a Jew, how can you vote for anybody but President Trump? And so what's interesting is that what I've heard often from both people who are voting in completely different ways is how they're often led to that decision based off of their Jewish values. And maybe those values are completely in conflict with each other, but they firmly believe, both the folks voting for President Trump and the folks voting for President Biden, believe that they are voting the way that they are because it's what's best for the Jewish people and Jewish values. In our Torah portion this week, we read about how Moses sent spies out to the land of Israel and how they returned, and with the exception of 2 of them, 10 of them say, don't go in. This is bad. Don't go into the land of Israel. It is really tough for us there. It's going to be difficult, and there's people there who are giants, way bigger than us. We're going to get destroyed. Don't go in there. And 2, Joshua and Caleb say, no, believe in God. Have faith. Go into the land. Well, if you've studied this story, know that the 2 were right in this situation. The 10 made the wrong choice, and the people of Israel chose to listen to the 10. And as a result, God was pretty unhappy. And this is why the Israelites had to wander in the desert for about 40 years, is because they did not have faith in God in that moment. And some people even say, because it's not always abundantly clear why Moses himself was not allowed to enter the land of Israel. There's a lot of different explanations, but one of them is that, well, he showed poor judgment as a leader in picking those 10 spies who were returned with negative reports. And if he were a competent leader, then he would have picked better people. Now, when I first came here to Kolami, Danny probably remembers a lot of these conversations. Danny, in addition to being our executive director, that takes up probably about 10% of Danny's time here at Kolami, and the other 90% is taken up by me venting to Danny and using him as a sounding board. A lot of me venting to Danny about our board and at the time, and how I came in with these big ideas and said, we got to invest in this. We got to invest in that. If we put money into this and do this and this and this, we're going to grow membership. We're going to get people more engaged. And people on the board saying to me, no, we don't have the money for that. I'm like, we do. It's in our reserves, and maybe we have a deficit for a year or 2. But if we do that, we will grow membership. We will gain engagement. It will pay off. and them arguing with me and us having heated arguments for hours sometimes about this and saying, why is this person being so obstructionist towards me? Why are they not supporting me on this? And even starting to take it personally and being like, do they not like me? What's the deal? And I talked to one of my mentors about it and told him my frustrations. And he said to me, well, think about it. Why do you think that these people aren't supporting you on this? Do you think they really dislike you? Well, I didn't think so. They seem to like me fine. They like my sermons. They like that they're always nice to me, but they aren't supporting me on this. He said, well, tell me, why do you want to do this? Because it's going to grow our membership. It's going to get people more engaged. It is going to help the synagogue a lot. Maybe we have to make a little bit of an investment at first. But if we do that, it is going to pay for itself 10 times over by people loving this place and us offering more to them. It is what's best for Congregation Kol Ami, and therefore what's best for the Jewish people. And he said, okay, and what are the arguments they're giving you against it? Well, they're saying we don't have the money for this. Well, why do you think they care? It's not coming out of their personal money. I don't know. I don't know why they're caring so much. You're right. It's not coming out of their personal money. Whose money is it coming out of? It's coming out of the synagogue funds. So why do you think they care then? Because they're worried if these investments don't work out, the synagogue is not going to be in as good a financial shape, and the synagogue might have to close one day, and then there won't be a synagogue for our community. So, here I was going at this issue, saying, you gotta follow me, you gotta believe in me, you gotta listen to me, because I am doing what is best for our community. And them saying, we're not going to do that. Why? Because it's not what's best for our community. But I'm thinking long term, but we're thinking long term. And so we're coming at it from different angles, but for what's best for our community. And so when we look at the story of the spies entering the land of Israel and giving their analysis of that land, we so often, because hindsight's always 20/20 and we can say they made the wrong choice, we so often vilify them for their lack of faith and their lack of courage. But we need to look at what was their reasoning. Was it to insult God, to show a lack of faith? Was it to make life difficult for the Jewish people so that we continue to be homeless longer? Or was it because they had a deep love and care for our people, and they truly believed that if they entered into the land of Israel, we would be annihilated and that would be the end of the people of Israel? Were they being oppositional out of an act of love and concern? Or was it to be mean? It was the former. So we, right now, I think very often as a country, as a society, we're very divided. Something we have to often do, and there are people out there, by the way, who I do think sadly have bad intentions. And there are people out there who are so focused on their viewpoint, and their viewpoint being the only one that's right, that they can't hear another viewpoint. And they're part of the problem. But one of the things I really appreciate about being Jewish is when I talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for example. Sometimes I hear people say, well, this is the homeland of the Palestinian people, but this is the homeland of the Jewish people. And I think often as Jews we can say, you're right, to both of those groups. You're right. And that we often allow space for there to be two truths in a situation and competing narratives in a situation. And so what I think we need to be challenged to do is to listen a bit more to other people's truths. And particularly in this year where we're going into yet another incredibly tense, divided, and what I assume will be a very close election. Rather than us assuming bad intentions of people within our own community, I encourage you to ask questions and to listen. And to ask, even if somebody comes to a different conclusion than the one that you do, are they coming to that different conclusion due to good intentions or bad intentions? Do you want the same thing as them? In this case, maybe what's best for the Jewish people. You just have different views on how to approach it. And we can continue, as a result, just as the spies did, to vehemently disagree with one another. However, we will have the opportunity to see greater holiness in each other if we can see holiness behind different people's intentions. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Some announcements really quickly. Good to see. I always like to shout out to our staff. Danny Berman, our executive director, is here. Thanks, Danny, for being here for all you do. Cantor Davis, wonderful to have you fly in for this weekend. Cantor, after this, is going to rush back to New York tomorrow evening and then help his partner Amanda pack up and start heading out west to Utah. And and we'll be here full time in a couple more weeks. But it's wonderful to have you here this weekend. So I hope that you join us tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. to celebrate Jude Plotkin being called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah in a Lev Shalem service. Membership renewal statements have been mailed out. If you please complete the member payment agreement and submit a 25% payment, you will receive your high holiday tickets. We're so grateful for all your support. And if you aren't a member of Kolami, but you're thinking about becoming a member, come talk to me. It's really special to have bring wonderful people into our community, and we rely on your support for us. Now, by the way, is the time to get a plaque or memorial wall or a leaf for our Tree of Life out in the lobby, or one of the memorial plaques in our sanctuary. And so the prices are going to go up for that on Monday. So get now before our next fiscal year, and you'll get a little bit better of a price if you order in the next couple days. And the names on our memorial wall, we read in perpetuity on our Yortzeit list. So, by the way, just a little plug for our office. One of our office staff members, we had to become an official notary. So if you ever need a notary, you can schedule an appointment with our office from 1 to 6 Monday through Thursday. Next week, we're going to kick off our summer Shabbatot in people's backyards. And the first one is going to be at my house and my wife Jill's house, which is only a mile away from here. We would love to have you come join. For security reasons, please RSVP so we know how many people to have. But once you RSVP, that's when you'll get the address. So we are still looking for one more host on August 9th. Let the office know if you're able to host or are interested. registration for our summer camping Shabbaton is open. Join us for Shabbat under the stars, camping, community, and fun for all ages, and of course a lot of s'mores. That's the reason I'm going after all. It's going to be August 2nd through 4th. The capacity is limited, so sign up today. I see my buddy Joel Rosenberg over there, and join us on July 11th here for a summer concert series, July 11th, and there will be a second one on August 15th, but they're not going to be the same, right? So you can get, it's not like, oh, pick one or the other, come to both. This man is incredible. I love his music, and he's gone all over the world performing. And so Joel Rosenberg and Kelly Richardson, Jeffrey Price, Marcel Bowman, and Monica Bowman are going to be performing for us, and their suggested donations starting at $18. Finally, you know me, I love to travel, and I can't wait next May. I'm going to be leading a Jewish heritage tour to Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary. And that's going to be a really great trip. Let me know if you're interested. The trip is going to fill up, I suspect. We have a capacity of about 30 people, and we're already almost halfway there. So that's next May. Come talk to me if you're interested. I would love to have you on this trip. Thanks to Salt Lake City Police Department for being here and keeping us safe. And thank you all for being here as well. We are going to move into the concluding part of our service with Elenu on page, the Elenu is
482.
on page, thank you, 442? 482, excuse me, 482. And I'll invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'ateit gedula li'oseh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei aratzo, ve'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam helkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kehol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Livnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At the bottom of page 44, V'nemar V'haya Adonai Lemelech Al Kol Haaretz Bayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated. This time we think of those whom death has recently taken from us, and those who have died in this season in years past, and those who we draw into our hearts with our own as we remember them. If you hear the name of a loved one, you're invited to rise upon hearing their name. In the period of Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning, we think of our congregant, Julia Louise Dolowitz Reagan, wife of Bill Reagan, mother of Francis Kopinga, another one of our congregants, and sister of our congregant, Sandy Dolowitz. And we also think of all those who in the last 30 days have lost their lives in defense of the State of Israel or as a result of terror. And this week we commemorate the following Yortzeitz's anniversary of the passing of these loved ones. Bailey Aberman, Lillian Aronoff, Sophie Baum, Samuel Bernstein, Annie Brisk, Bob Campbell, Frida Cantor, Rose Einhorn, Naomi Buchalter-Flock, Sarah Goldberg, Ian Goldstein, Marshall Gordon, David Greenberg, Raylene Gus, Anita Hecker, Keenan Inse, Abraham Irving Jacobson, Abe Jaffe, Constance Kaplan, Miriam Kaplan, Daniel Katz, Benjamin Kogan, Bertha Rosengarten Kurzban, Albert Levy, Archie Levy, Meta Zamori Lay, Saul Mariashin, Francis Melanson, Bernice Lily Nichols, Robert Nieves, Jacob Pullman, Max Rosenberg, Rose Rosenberg, Dr. Harold Rosenberg, Bernard Rosenblatt, Hova Roisengert, Rachel Singman, Rex Stark, Emma Stein, Armin Tajin, Ronald Lee Turner, Adolph White, Lorraine White, Sadie Zinnick, and Joseph Zwilling. And if you have a name to add, I'll invite you to rise and to share with our community. Cool. And if you're watching on our live stream, you're invited to share a name as well. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. If you're mourning or it's your tradition to do so, you're invited to rise. We're on page 492. Ikada v'ikada shemei rabah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirte v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dehol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari ve'imru. Amen. Yesh shmei rabah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'rehu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'ne'emata, da miram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
And source of peace and peace to all who are mourning. Comfort the bereaved among us. Can we say amen? We're going to conclude, as we have been since October 7th, with the singing of Hatikva, Israel's national anthem. I'm not sure if I have a page, but anyhow.
Page 583.
Is it on 583? Great, thank you. And if you wish to do so, I'll invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Kolod palevav penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ulfratei mizrach kadima, ayin lezion Sophia, olo avda tikvateinu, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון Yerushalayim.
We'll remain standing for Kiddush. It's on page 502.
ויהי ערב ויבוא יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ, וכל צבאם, ויחול אלוהים ביום השביעי, מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות צברים.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim.
And we have here, made by my buddy Moshe, a wonderful challah. I'll take it out of its wrapping.
And you too can take home one of Moshe's challahs.
Good plug. You can. You can order those. They are amazing. Go ahead, my friend.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ, Amen.
B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.